Hey, church family. I want to start off today with a couple of verses of Scripture that come from Genesis chapter 18. I'll read them for you and then spend a moment or two unpacking them. In Genesis 18, beginning at verse 23, we're told that Abraham approached God and said, "Will you sweep away both the righteous and the wicked? Suppose you find 50 righteous people living there in the city. Will you still sweep it away and not spare it for their sakes?" And the Lord replied, "If I find 50 righteous people in Sodom, I'll spare the entire city for their sake." Think about that for a moment and consider this question. If you could ask God for anything, what would it be? So often our prayers are very much me-focused. Lord, help me at work, or help me through a relational problem. Our prayers are all about my needs, my hurts, my wants. Now make no mistake, this is an important part of prayer. Prayer involves giving those things to God and asking Him to work in our lives. But if that's all there is to our prayer life, then we are missing out on a huge part of prayer. And that is praying on behalf of someone else. It may be somebody we know. It may be somebody we don't know. It may be somebody we've never even met. This part of prayer is called intercessory prayer. Someone once observed that too often our prayer ministries are more concerned with keeping sick believers out of heaven than keeping unbelievers out of hell. If you look at the prayer of Abraham recorded in Genesis 18, you'll see that Abraham wasn't afraid to bring a bold request to God. 6 times Abraham asked God for mercy on behalf of a huge city that had been earmarked for destruction. And God answered Abraham and told him, yes, if only 50 people could be found in that city would be spared. Now, the way the story played out, ultimately the city wasn't saved, but don't miss this key principle. God responded to Abraham's bold prayer, and it was a prayer made on behalf of a people that Abraham likely didn't know and probably had never even met. Turn on the news, pick up a paper, and think about the bold asks that you could pray for your community, your city, or your nation. You may not know all the names or the individual stories of the people you're praying for, but you can still boldly ask the one who does. Because one of the most selfless prayers is asking God for His mercy and blessing in the lives of others. The question is, will you?